and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Fbx Evening News. I'm Stephanie Woodard. Holly Seiler is off for the evening. Our top story tonight. The controversial and long-standing tug-of-war battle over legalizing marijuana in the 49th state is once again back in the news. Lieutenant Governor Mead Treadwell, who oversees elections around the state, on Friday certified a ballot initiative application that would make it legal for adults to possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana. Sponsors say those in support of the initiative will have 1 year to collect just over 30,000 signatures from voters in order to get the question on a ballot. The proposal would make it legal for those 21 and older to use and possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana, though not in public. It also would set out provisions for legal grow operations and establish an excise tax. The proposal also comes in light of similar initiatives that passed making marijuana legal in Colorado and Washington state. A bizarre Fairbanks DUI case landed a 63-year-old man in jail earlier this week after Fairbanks police say he attempted to drive a motorized shopping cart into the parking lot of a grocery store. Merrill Moses also was charged with refusing to submit to a chemical breath test and shoplifting. The incident happened around 9:45 Wednesday evening at the Fred Meyer West store. Employees there told police Moses' alleged conduct is not new and that he has tried to run them over in the past and that he has been intoxicated each time. In this latest incident, according to court records, Moses' blood alcohol level was nearly 4 times the legal limit for driving in Alaska. With warmer temperatures now in full force and people of all ages taking to the streets, local authorities are urging caution to motorists and cyclists alike in the wake of an increasing number of vehicle versus bicycle accidents taking place recently around the interior. According to veteran Alaska State Trooper Michael Weary, while none of the accidents have ended in a fatality, he considers that to be a, quote, stroke of luck. Weary says while a lot of directives are issued to motorists, cyclists must follow the same rules.
We have been actually pretty lucky here for the past couple of crashes involving vehicles and bicyclists. We haven't had a fatality. On the roadway, they have to follow the same rules as a vehicle does, and of course, if they're riding on the sidewalks and they're crossing, roadways or parking lots, whatever, they need to really be cautious because vehicles are looking other directions, especially if they're coming from a direction that normally you would think a bicycle should be coming in.
A Fairbanks woman who allegedly stabbed her stepbrother in the leg on Wednesday is facing a felony assault charge. 31-year-old Lindsay Lee Preshaw is accused of stabbing her stepbrother, who also is the father of her 2 children, in the calf with a butcher knife. The victim's father said Preshaw and his son started arguing and she pointed a finger in his face. The next thing they knew, they were both hitting each other and his son was on top of her holding her down. Now, Preshaw was originally charged with 3rd-degree assault, but the charge was later upgraded to assault in the 2nd degree. Fundraising activities in support of Galena flood victims took place Friday evening at the Chief David Salmon Tribal Hall downtown. As of June 12th, the state of Alaska had reported the destruction of 15 homes, 107 suffering major damage and an additional 72 having suffered minor damage, most of them in Galena. Federal officials say in cases of widespread damage and destruction, as was seen in Oklahoma and Galena, Alaska, federal aid is warranted. Those directly affected say they are grateful for the show of support.
To know that everyone is behind us and helping us out, because a lot of us lost a lot of everything. Yeah, and everybody's misplaced. Some are here, some are in Anchorage. Yeah, it means a lot.
It's pretty hard to go through things like this, but we're all doing pretty good.
All right, for those of you that want to...
I don't think you can put a dollar on the fact to have a showing of support for people. I think that probably means the most. Gives them a good chance to get together also and do something fun, and kind of get their minds off of all the hard work that they have ahead of them and all the hard work that's been going on. And people in the community especially want to help. So that having this event really gives the people in the community an avenue to come together, show their support also. So I think it's invaluable.
Closing ceremonies of the 30th Annual Rural Providers Conference wrapped up late Thursday downtown at the Chief David Salmon Tribal Hall. Activities such as a sobriety dance that is shown here were the order to the week. The conference itself, which sported the theme Our Hearts Together, was full of workshops and discussions centered around healthy living and ways to better embrace in it the positive sense. According to Roxanne Frank, one of the co-organizers of the event, the conference addresses what she called huge problems: alcohol, nicotine addiction, drug abuse, among others that continue to affect the Native culture in many ways. Frank says they're issues that no longer can just be overlooked. She says addressing the situation head-on has been the key.
This week went well. It was a heavy-duty subject that we had to talk about, which was sexual abuse, sex trafficking, and domestic violence. And I think we're getting the message out. And, you know, with our theme, Our Hearts Together, is we need to share, but we also need to educate others out in the villages in the state of Alaska.
All right, when we come back, we have Juneteenth coverage, and a movie is being filmed here in Fairbanks. We'll have more. Stay here. And welcome back. Juneteenth is the nationally celebrated honor of the ending of slavery in the United States. This weekend, cities across America will gather to remember the end of a dark era in our nation's past. 2 years after the Civil War ended, some slaves in Texas didn't know they were free. Juneteenth celebrates the realization that the slaves were no longer property, they were Americans. Here in Fairbanks, the NAACP and other organizations have highlighted the event beginning last Wednesday evening through Sunday. On Sunday morning, organizer Sandra Rice says the celebration ends by going back to their roots.
Tomorrow we'll have church under the tent from 10 to 12. We're going to be out here. We're going to have what we call one of those down-home kick bucket services under there. You know, back in grandma days where we just sang without the music and the clapping of the hand and the stomping of feet and the everything and the praise and everything. So we hope that you come out for that also. We know it's Father's Day, and what better way to celebrate Father's Day is out in the opening and just having some fun with people that you know and some that you don't know, to make new acquaintances and so forth.
And as Sandra Rice mentioned just then, the celebration was also used as a time to honor elders and veterans. Organizers say the Juneteenth celebration is centered around those who have come before them, further calling the act of recognizing them a must. We spoke to longtime Fairbanks resident, military veteran, and elder David Phillips about the occasion itself, one he calls an honor to be a part of.
Well, this is absolutely special. I served my country proudly, and I'm proud to have reached the age of to be a senior, yes. So I thank all those who are involved for this august occasion.
The past few weeks, you may have seen cameras and crews out and about in Fairbanks. That is because the beauty of interior Alaska is now also serving as a set for a feature film. Mining for Ruby is being shot at locations all across Fairbanks and has been for the past few weeks. The director, a former Fairbanksan, Zoe Quist, wanted to come back to Fairbanks to shoot the film that centers around a mining controversy, a grad student wrapped up in it, and a love story. The students from UAF Frame Program have also been on set helping film, and some of the actors seen in the film were cast right here in Fairbanks.
Internship program that was offered through the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and that afforded students that were going to the university to work on a professional film production with Hollywood key hair and makeup, cinematographers, professionals, where these students could come work under them as, you know, under this mentorship program. So it was a double win. Like, I got to make a film here, but also really give something back to the community as well.
Today, Make-A-Wish Foundation of Fairbanks was busy granting one special little girl a big wish. Seela, age 3, who was diagnosed with a form of leukemia, has been battling the disease for the past year. Today, her parents and her put that aside to celebrate a day of joy with their daughter. First, a limousine picked them up from their home and brought little Seela to a red carpet event, fully equipped with a princess and tiara waiting for her. While they enjoyed the park, volunteers from both Make-A-Wish and Home Depot worked hard to get a new play set ready at her home. The News Center will have more on this special wish Monday on the Fairbanks Evening News and News Center Final. Speaking of another special day, once a year, the day comes for kids to appreciate their fathers, and that day is tomorrow. Now, most kids get the chance to be with their father on this day. However, what about when you've grown up? New military spouse Tabitha Harpster, who was stationed at Fort Wainwright last month with her newlywed husband, won't be with her dad this Father's Day. Harpster shared how she felt and what she was going to do instead with some of our students from our Broadcast Academy. Check it out.
I was thinking about maybe making my dad one of those cheesy mugs with a picture on it from the wedding or my grad school graduation or something like that. So Father's Day has kind of been something that's always there. So it's just a little bit different. We're not going to any Braves games this year, so that's a bummer. But I think we'll get by. So.
All right, well, lots going on in local sports. Our own D. Lou is anxiously waiting in the wings with it all. He's next. Stay tuned.